Guys, and welcome to Hashes but Economics. Before you do anything, you see that little button down there? Please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. And also take this time to go to the Laws of Enchantress on YouTube, which is my new YouTube channel just for my Laws of Enchantress program. So, guys, I did it. I made a promise and I did it. I actually went through my 1,000 emails that I have not answered on YouTube. Hey, Amber. So I had a lot of emails, but I'm gonna tell you, I got a lot of there was a lot of like weird back and forth. I was like going through all the comments on YouTube. And for some reason, economic spending, black economic spending power was a huge issue. There were people like having Spartan wars in the comments. So I talked about black economic spending power. And I think some people get that confused with wealth. So, as you know, I'm always extremely fact based. I like to get my information from the most neutral source as possible. And I'm giving you this information because this information can actually help you. So I want to show you the difference between economic spending power and wealth. Wealth is actual money you keep. Okay? So wealth means that you actually accrue wealth and you keep it in your bank or you have an investment. You have it. Spending power means you're spending. So you're actually spending. Your money's leaving your pockets. So I get the information from www.nielsen.com. And Nielsen is a global measurement and data analytics company that provides the most complete and trusted view available of consumers and markets worldwide. Our approach marries Nielsen data with other data sources to help clients around the world understand what's happening and what's happening now. They've been doing data collection for over 90 years. Okay, they're a company well known and an S&P company, which is, this is economics. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because I was shocked when I was going through my YouTube comments how many people were angry and saying, "Oh my God, it's not wealth, this and that." So let me tell you why it's a form of wealth. Because if you spend your money wisely, you can actually get money back for it. So, what's a wise purchase? Me taking $200 and buying a real estate course and becoming a real estate agent. Me taking, I don't know, $300 and becoming a notary. Anything that has a return on profit. So if you buy something and you can get a return on profit, that's a possible form of wealth. But we like to do a lot of frivolous spending, and that frivolous spending never gives anything back. So I'm actually going to go through the tabs. I was going to do my screen capture, but my screen capture app is acting up. So I'm actually going to go through some tabs here because I think it's a good educational point for a lot of people. Because we shop, we love to shop, we love to go to Bloomingdale's, Macy's, and shop, shop, shop. We love to go to Sephora's. That's spending power. What happens when you don't spend that money, or you choose to spend that money conservatively, or you spend it strategically in a way where you can get a return? Everybody uses credit in some way, shape, or form, but we do a lot of frivolous spending that doesn't do anything to increase our bottom line. And this is detrimental to black economics because we do spend a lot. When you buy Jordans or you buy Tim's or you buy hair or makeup or whatever it is, you're putting money out of you to somewhere else. That's why stores have sales because they want you to spend. When you spend, you make money for them. But if I say no, I'm not going to buy, $1,000 of Victoria's Secrets this week, and instead I buy $1,000 of stock or $1,000 of U.S. savings bond, you can actually change the trajectory of that spending power and turn that spending into investment. But that's not what we're doing. So let me just take a look right here. So spending power, purchasing power, the official definition by Investopedia, which is a great site, is the value of currency expressed in terms of the amount of goods or services that one unit of money can buy. So purchasing power, people, to you guys who are having the Mortal Kombat and Kung Fu in my comment section, purchasing power is the value of currency expressed in terms of the amount of goods or services that one unit of money can buy. Purchasing power is important. All else being equal, inflation decreases the amount of goods or services you'll be able to purchase. So nowhere did I ever say your spending power is your personal wealth. Of course not, because you're spending it. Even if you're rich and you spend 4 billion, that's not 4 billion of your personal wealth. That's 4 billion of your spending power. It's gone. But it is a form of economic power because look what happened to Papa John's. All right? I don't know if you guys are familiar with what's going on at Papa John's. Well, Papa John's was the leading pizza franchise for the past several years. They got into some drama for their mama. Like I told you, stay out of drama. They got into some drama. And unfortunately, their stuff, now, well, unfortunately, they deserved it. They got into some discrimination drama. First, he started with the knee thing. I think the owner, John Shatner, was saying he didn't want people kneeling because it's messing up his business, which he lied about. It wasn't. And then he said some discriminatory words in a board meeting that were highly discriminatory against African Americans, and people decided to stop spending power his pizza. He's almost in ruins. Like the company lost millions, not hundreds of thousands. The company lost millions of dollars. They weren't even able to keep their ads on mainstream. Domino's actually had a resurgence because of the bad way that Papa John's was declining. So what happened there? If spending power is not real, why did Papa John's lose millions of dollars? Easy. A lot of African Americans like to eat his pizza. When he made this whole ridiculous drama with his racist ass, okay, he lost a lot of people, primarily the African American market. And that's why recently Shaquille O'Neal has actually signed on to sit on their board for $8.5 million a year. And of course, he is a well-known African American figure who has an excellent track record with fast foods. And also he's a great spokesperson for Gillette, Icy Hot, people like Shaquille. So they're hoping to restart the company with his face and being that he's African American to kind of like refurbish the brand. Do I agree with it? Hell no. Shaquille O'Neal's worth $400 million. I think Shaquille O'Neal should open his own chain of pizza. I think when someone did that and the comments he made were so inflammatory, I can't even repeat that because they'll probably block this video and I won't be able to play it. So that's spending power. Okay, the black people stopped buying the product and the company almost went out of business. They're doing absolutely horrible. They lost millions of dollars. In fact, I can actually look up. So what does that mean? Because people confuse it with wealth. It's not necessarily wealth. Wealth, whether you're rich or poor, means actual assets and acquisitions you have in your vicinity. Whether you're rich or poor, your spending power does not reflect your actual wealth. Wealth is finances, assets, investments, whatever it is, you have to actually obtain them. Hey, Lady B, so I want to make sure because there was so much anger in my comments. I was like, what's going on? So I wanted to clarify that because I never said that spending power is wealth, but it is a form of power. It's a form of power. Because when Papa John's did not get black people to buy their pizza, Papa John's got desperate and they hired Shaquille O'Neal. It's a form of power. It cannot be denied. If black people strike on certain demographics will suffer. They need black spending power. But people say it's not real wealth. It's not because you're going to spend it. But it's a form of strategy. What if all of you guys didn't buy, I don't know, anything, a Bugattis, I don't know, whatever it is, and you put your money concentrated into an area where you can actually get a return? If 5 of my friends and me got together and we decided to put $25,000 to flip a burnt down house, and we flip the house and we spend that money, but there's a possibility we can sell that house and make an investment, that's strategic. So I don't quite understand people who say spending power is not real. Instead of going to Louis Vuitton, how about going to U.S. Savings Bond or taking up an investment course so you can learn to invest? Everybody spends. It's the fact that not everyone gets a return on their investment. Okay, a car is not an investment. You drive it off the lot, I think it loses like half its value. So we need to, as black people, understand what spending power is. Going to Louis Vuitton, going to Christian Dior, going to Bugatti, that's you actually spend it. But for I don't know why there's this, oh, it's not real. Of course it's fucking real. Of course it's real. You want to see what happens to Popeye's fried chicken? No offense. I like fried chicken. I have to stay away from it. It's like my gold crunchy crack. But you want to see what happens to Popeye's fried chicken or KFC or any type of fast food if black people were completely taken out? There's a reason why McDonald's and all these fast food ads love to use people of color because they know we eat it and they're trying to keep good with us. So it's not actual wealth in your wallet. No one said that spending power is like abundance of wealth. But when you see what we spend our money on, if we were to leverage just 5% of that strategically for things that can prospectively bring us a return, it could be wondrous. It could be, instead of spending $2,000 on an Hermes or a Chloe bag, take a course in becoming an appraiser or become a broker. I don't know, but there's so many things you can do. A lot of people come and they don't have money and they invest different ways. They spend in different ways. If your spending produces a return, that's a form of strategy. But to say purchasing power means nothing, that's crazy. There's a reason why stores are closing. Sears closed. J.C. Penney is closing. I think Kmart is closing. FEO Schwartz closed. I think Guest Store closed. Wet Seal closed. Ralph Lauren closed because people aren't spending. And these stores need to take in a certain amount of your spending power. So let me click on to the next screen because I really want people to understand the economics of this because this is extremely important. You can't have a demographic of people not understanding the power of spending power because this is why they market to certain people. This is why certain industries are like, for instance, if spending power is fake, explain the $500 billion black hair care industry. $500 billion. People are shopping and buying luxury hair, luxury this. I bought this too. It's worth $500 billion. You may not spend that money as cash. You may use credit or your debit card. I don't know. But the fact is that money is coming from the black community. Jordans cost pennies to make, and the Jordan sales are through the roof, tens of millions. Nike, tens of millions. Where's that coming from? If spending power is not real, how are these companies profitable? It's because we're using our spending power in a way where there's absolutely no return. So it makes sense. Now, if I take my spending power and I buy a parking lot, me and my brother and my mom, and say, you know what, let's invest in this empty ass parking lot. And I go to Manhattan and my brother starts painting up some white stripes so the cars can come in, and we get up a little booth and we set up a booth and say, parking, $30 an hour. We spent money. But there's a great possibility if I open up a parking lot on Fifth Avenue, I'm going to get a return. There's different ways. I did it. I did it. There's different ways to use your spending power strategically so that prospectively you can get a return. Again, it doesn't mean the actual wealth you own. Whether you have $5 or $5 billion, once you are spending, that's not wealth. That's the power of your spending. So let me just say right here, okay? So right here, oh my God, it's blocking here. Spending power, purchasing power. It's like going to the box office, going to the movies. When you hear that new movie, Us, did $70 million. It's its biggest opening ever. That's us spending money going to the movies, and the box office takes in tens of millions. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the foundation is, why it was such a heated rhetoric in my comments, because I was like checking my comments and I'm like, whoa, why the anger over spending? We spend money. We do. I don't know why we want to deny it. We buy Jordans, we buy Tims, we buy name brand clothes, we buy hair, we buy perfume, we buy belts, we buy. In fact, we're some of the biggest trendsetters. People are always copying our trends. We're one of the biggest trends, whether it's saying something cool or the way we wear our clothes or the way we wear our makeup. We're trendsetters. So I don't understand why there's so many people denying our buying power. I think they're confusing it with actual wealth. But like I said, there's a way. Okay, so this is Fortune magazine, and Fortune is a reputable financial magazine. I don't think anyone can argue that Fortune is trash, and it's very neutral. So this says a Nielsen report puts black buying power at 1.2 trillion. But what does that mean? Let me read it to you. In the black dollars mark in the report, black dollars matter. The sales impact of black consumers, the message is clear. While African Americans make up only 14% of the United States population, African Americans are responsible for 1.2 trillion in purchases annually. So you can argue till the cows come home. You can put on your kufi. You can get mad while you twist your locks. I don't care. This is from Fortune. This is the Nielsen report. I don't know what the discrepancy is. We are spending. I spend, you spend, we all spend. I don't know why we're denying we spend money. We all walk around looking doughboy fresh. I don't know what's going on. We're always in style. We're from doing our hair, whatever it is. We're doughboy fresh. So I don't understand why we're having this conversation. Because I'm saying this because in the comments I was completely shocked when people were arguing, and I'm like, why are they arguing so bad? What's the big deal? So in the report, Black dollars matter. The sale impacts of black consumers. The message is clear. I'm reading from Fortune. While African Americans make up only 14% of the entire US population, African Americans are responsible for 1.2 trillion in purchases annually. Further, consumers of colors are showing an outsized influence in several key consumer categories. So this is fun. Let's see what we're spending. And are increasingly demanding that businesses do and be better. In some cases, black consumers make up over 50% of overall spending. Such categories of dry grains and vegetables. I don't know what that means. But other categories stand out as well, like baby food, 42%, personal soap and bath needs, okay, at least we know our ass is clean, 41%, and air fresheners and deodorizers. Yeah, that's some black spending. We like to keep our house smelling fresh, 38%. But the big takeaway is the willingness of smart brands to respond to the needs and feedback of black shoppers. Our research shows that black consumers' choices have a cool factor that creates a halo effect, influence not just consumers of color, but the mainstream as well. This is Cheryl Grace, Senior Vice President of United States Strategically Community Alliance and Consumer Engagement. These figures show that investment by multinational conglomerates in R&D to develop products and marketing that appeal to diverse consumers is indeed paying off handsomely. The mercy. But don't try to play if you're not ready. Nielsen's report shows that 38% of African Americans between the ages of 18 and 34 and 18 and 34 and 41% of those aged 35 or older expect the brands to buy to support a social cause, outpacing the total population by 4 and 15% respectively. The data also shows that once black themed products are leaving the ethnic aisle and finding a wider audience. But the process can be fraught, as Caramatic Shea Butter Moisturizer found when a poorly conceived video advertisement rankled their core customer. Okay, so we're looking for representation. That's good. It says with 43% of the 75 million millennials identifying as African American, Hispanic, or Asian, if a brand doesn't have a multicultural strategy, it doesn't have growth strategy. So what's interesting is what we spend our money on. Like, I want to show you the graph. I'm actually going to take the camera down. I thought it was kind of funny. So I just want to take the camera down so you can see when we earn money, this is where we spend money. And I think it's really important for us to see that as people so we can see this as actual dollars, whether it's your credit card or your debit card. So I'm going to take the camera down and I'm going to do my best to hold it so you can see from the Nielsen report like I am. Oops, it looks like I broke that. Oh, okay. So hopefully you can see like me I'll try to hold it steady. So this is people of color. So for some reason, black people seem to be obsessed with dry vegetables and grains. And right here, you see it says spend by consumers of color, and this is the amount. And percentage of total spend attribute to consumers of color. So dry vegetables and grains, baby food, personal soap and bath needs, fresheners and deodorizers, shelf-stable juice and drinks. Okay? So that's a lot there. So I'm actually going to scroll down because there's another graph. Okay, and it says the power of black dollars. The categories where the percentages of black spending is greater in proportion to their population. All right, so right there, ethnic hair and beauty aids, of course, that's going to be high. We're spending $54.4 million a year. Total spend is 63. So out of the ethnic hair and beauty aids, we are at 85% of total purchases attributed to black consumers. Women's fragrances, okay, perfumes. Black people spend, women, I guess, 152 million for a total of that 679. Okay, so this is how much we are contributing to this number. So we spend this much, that's the total. We spend this much, that's the total. The red is us, okay? So women's fragrances is 152 million, and the total is 679. So we are 22% overall of all fragrance purchases. Hygiene, pum pum panani stuff. Oh, I'm glad we're taking care of that. Black people spend 54 million. That's mostly women. And you see women, women, women. So far, women are the commanding economic spender. So we're 21% of all hygiene products. All right. Men's toiletries, black men keeping themselves nice and fresh at 62 million, and the total is 308 million. And black men are 20% of all men's toiletries, so they're keeping themselves fresh. Personal soap and bath needs, 573. We're almost 20% there. Frozen unprepared meat and food. Okay, I knew food was going to be there. We are 761 million. The total is 4.3 billion, and we're 17%. Refrigerated juices and drinks, we're 578.2 million out of 3.3 billion, and we're 17%. So let me see. We have shelf juices again, spices and seasonings. You know, we use seasonings that we are $432 million. Bottled water, $810 million. And that's the percentage that we are out of the entire subject of that. Insecticides and hold on, insecticides and repellents. That's kind of funny. We spent 176 million out of 1.1, what is that? 1.14 billion. Gum, black people, we chew that much gum? 122.8 million. And so we're 15%. Shortening, I guess, oil, 325 million. Household cleaners, detergents and cookwares, charcoal and log. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera back around. So I wanted to do that really boring, obnoxious rundown so we can stop the argument about spending power. We're spending money. We're spending money. Do I think it's necessary to spend that much money on gum? Or do I think if we were to spend that money in something prospectively where we can get a return, do I think we need to spend that much money, $810 million in bottled water? No. The only thing I think is really cool about looking at this, if you're looking to open a business as an African American, this list is really phenomenal because you can actually see what we buy stuff in. Okay? You can actually see what we buy stuff in. So it's really interesting. So if you're thinking about going into a business as an African American, definitely ethnic hair and beauty aids tops the list. We are 85% of that. Women's fragrances is second. We don't have any black-owned fragrance companies, very rare. Then we got feminine hygiene. We don't have any black-owned feminine hygiene. Then we have men toiletries, which is surprising, okay? And then we have soaps and unprepared meats, seafoods, and stuff like that. So this is where we spend our money. N- Lady B, I was about to say nothing on property. So it's hair, makeup, fragrances, hygiene, men. The top 10, I'll give you the top 10. Ethnic hair and beauty aids, we are 85%. We spend 54 million. Women's fragrances, that's number two, 152 million at 22%. Feminine hygiene, 54 million at 21%. Men's toiletries, 62 million at 20%. Personal soaps and bath needs, 573 million at 18%. Frozen unprepared meat and seafood, 761 million, and we're 17.75%. Refrigerated juices and drinks, 578 million, and we're 17%. And shelf stable juices and drinks, 1.4 billion out of only 6.2 billion, we're 16%. And spices, seasoning, and extracts. I know we're going to spend a lot of money on spices because we like to spicy our food. At 430.2 million, and at that 16%. So this is spending. This is real. This is spending. This is spending. And you're right, not a dime. So it might be similar, Lady B. So when I say spending, of course we don't have that wealth. This is cumulative spending across the 14% of all African Americans, men and women. But what I'm trying to say, people say, well, it's not real wealth. Well, it could become some type of strategic wealth. What if you took that money and invest in real estate? Just like Lady B said. What if you took that money, all six of your friends who are broke as ass, and you can't be broke together, and invest and start doing Airbnbs? Airbnb is a huge industry right now, especially if you're in a metropolis like New York, San Diego, Miami, where people will actually pay to stay in your apartment because the hotels are too damn expensive. What if you took this money and opened a laundromat, or open your own beauty aids, or start your own fragrances? I like those little oils with the roll-ons. And what if we investing in those things and actually marketing it? Feminine hygiene. I don't think there's any black female feminine pum pum products. So this is what I wanted to say. It's not wealth, no matter what your economic standing is, because it is leaving your pockets. It's leaving your bank books. It's leaving your checkbooks. But the question mark is, what would happen if we didn't spend as much and it took 5%? Okay, when you add up all these numbers, it adds up to 1.3 trillion. What if you took 5% of 1.3 trillion and put it into real estate, or put it into hotels, or put it into supermarket, or put it into the stock market? What if we took 5% of that and go into IT stock like Apple, Google, Amazon? What if we actually started to invest just 2-3% into US savings bonds? So that's what I mean. That's what I mean. What if we strategically spend in things that we can get a return in? Because that's what other people do. And they're counting on us. So while you're saying it's not real, if black people completely stopped buying everything in this list, the entire American economy would be out of $1.3 trillion, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, it's not wealth. But if we were learning how to be smarter and more strategic in how we spend, 1.3 trillion would actually make us the seventh most richest country on the planet if you were to put our spending power together as a GDP. That's a lot of freaking money. But the thing is that we don't network. We have horrible connectivity. Our communities are broken. We fight each other like Mortal Kombat and Ken and Ryu. We have a lot of internal conflicts. We have a broken sisterhood. We got a broken brotherhood. We have a lot of issues. But I truly believe if you start educating people and teaching them solutions and not just shaming them, this is enlightening to me. As I'm talking to you, I'm like, oh shit. Can I go invest in some ethnic? I'm about to go literally and see if I can buy some stock in ethnic hair and beauty. I'm going to see what ethnic hair and beauty aid stock I can purchase, because it said the trend is only going to increase. So if you talk about some stocks, I'm going to look at some women fragrances stocks. I'm going to look at some feminine hygiene stocks, some men toiletry stocks. So even though that's me spending, there's a great opportunity for me to get a return. And it doesn't mean the entire black race. The entire black race does not need to participate in this for it to be successful. If you took 5% of black people and literally took 5% of 1.3 trillion and put it into the stock market, you'll have a force to be reckoned with. So I hope this was enlightening. I hope you guys understand, Even I have been trying to be more savvy with my spending. I love my wigs. I love my natural hair, all expensive. So I've been trying to buy things online, wholesale, trying to skip the actual physical stores. I've been doing a good job. And this is some great, if you're thinking about opening a business, I think this is a great way to be strategic, because if I was opening a business, I would only do things on this list, because this is where we're spending money. So this is a great way for you to look at this list. So if you're looking to open a business, definitely consider this. And if you don't know about business, you can actually go on the SBA. I have a video. It's called the Small Business Association. It's absolutely free, and they give you a lot of free stuff and sometimes even money if you're a minority and female to start these businesses. So if you're interested in that, just message me. I'll put my email in the link. And I hope this video was informative. I think it's a great opportunity to go into business. I'll actually, before I end the video, let me put the link into the comment section, because I think this is really good. And, I hope this calmed down the war that was happening in my comment section, because at no point in time did I say that African Americans have a net worth wealth of 1.3 trillion. That's completely different. That would be inaccurate. But we do have that spending power. And if we took 5% of that spending power and put it into the stock market, or 5% of that spending power and put it into real estate, or 5% of that spending power and actually owned businesses and stores, I do think you get a nice return on your investment. Everybody spends. You make money to spend it, but how you spend it turns it into a debt or a return on your investment. So guys, I put it in the comment section. You can click on it. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to go to my Laws of Enchantress YouTube channel. Please join, guys, like and subscribe, and share this video.